And alongside Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen, our Brock Burgee was on assignment tonight, emceeing an event for Ability Building Community. More on that later in the broadcast. But first, welcome to a different look at KTTC just for tonight, we hope.
It's been a day.
This is a technical issue that we had here at KTTC, but we're expecting to be back in the studio like normal tomorrow. In the meantime, we had news, weather, and sports that we couldn't wait to bring you anyways. We do have a first alert day in the works for tomorrow, and it could be a stormy one, Nick.
That's right. So we are tracking a chance of some showers and thunderstorms on the way. So the first alert on that line of thunderstorms that'll move through for tomorrow. So we have a first alert day in effect, and this is mainly for the second half of your Tuesday. So strong to severe thunderstorms will be possible on Tuesday. I think it's an isolated threat for most of us across the region. Best chance for stronger storms areas in orange, so that is pretty much Highway 52 and to the west here. That does include portions of Wabasha, Goodhue County, so stretching from Red Wing, Rochester, Austin, Alberley, Mason City, Charles City. We'll see the threat of those showers and thunderstorms. As we time things out for you tomorrow, the best chance again from 4 until 10 o'clock. I think here in Rochester, closing in on maybe 7:30 to 9 o'clock for that chance of those showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Our next weather maker is that cold front that is still out in Montana. That will sweep through tomorrow, and with all the moisture that we have out in front of it, that will allow those showers and thunderstorms to develop. Currently, we just have some mainly clear skies, and we'll stay quiet through the overnight hours here tonight. As we look outside, currently temperatures are still warm. We're at 70. It's 75 in Austin, 74 in Mason City, and 70 in Winona. Current temperatures locally still in the upper 60s in Forest City and low 70s along the river valley. Tomorrow's outlook as we wake up here, some partly cloudy skies in the morning. Temperatures already warm as you're getting your day started in the upper 60s and some low 70s. High temperatures tomorrow will be in the low 80s, and then we'll see that chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll have the first alert on that storm chance coming up in your full forecast.
All right, we'll check back with you soon, Nick. Thank you. Earlier today, the city of Zumbrota closed its historic covered bridge after high waters caused flooding. As you can see in the video being played, water levels higher than usual and covering some of the surroundings there. KTTC spoke with Zumbrota resident Jackie Parker, who goes on walks on the trail near the area, she says, every evening. She says she was amazed when she saw the flooding this morning. She shares that it is unusual for the area. The National Weather Service issued a flood warning for multiple Minnesota regions, which included Goodhue County. The city of Zumbrota has closed the bridge until further notice. 4 teenage suspects have been identified related to a racial slur incident near Rochester Century High School. It's a story we've been covering since April. While no one has been arrested or charged, our Olivia Pronzinski spoke with the president of Rochester's NAACP and has more on how the organization is looking for accountability.
Almost 2 months later, NAACP President Wally Elegbede
This is an important first step.
Stands on the bridge, once the face of a racial slur. Elegbede says words like that carry a dark history.
People have been killed, people have been lynched. This is not a joke.
Rochester police identifying 4 teenage males were behind the harmful message. Elegbede calling this the first step in accountability.
For us, this is not the end, this is part of it. We've also had conversations, at the state level, and this is something that, a lot of people are paying close attention to.
Now, as of Monday, no arrests have been made in this case, and the details have been passed along to the Olmsted County Attorney's Office for review of potential charges.
At the end of the day, these are young individuals, and what we're looking for there to be a learning opportunity from this. This is something that should not be taken lightly, but this gives us an opportunity to heal.
And Elegbede explaining he wants to see the individuals become part of the solution, rather the problem.
They can definitely overcome this, depending on what they want to do.
Being just steps away from Century High School, community members theorize whoever is behind the message is a student, but nothing has been confirmed.
It's good to know that whoever did this got, caught, but at the same time, I don't want to wish any harm on people.
Elegbede reminding the community that Rochester should be a place of unity.
Ultimately, we want this to end with love.
Reporting in Rochester, Olivia Pronzinski, KTTC News.
Since the bridge is so close to Century High School and used by many students, Rochester Public Schools released a statement stating the findings are regrettable and it's grateful the investigation has concluded. We've reached out to the Olmsted County Attorney's Office, but it says it is too soon to comment. As we've reported, the two canoeists who went missing May 19th after going over the Curtain Falls on Iron Lake, that investigation has been continuing. Just last week, rescue crews found the body of 41-year-old Jesse Haugen. This morning, crews located the body of Reese Grams just west of Curtain Falls in the BWCA. Madison Green spoke with Reese's wife, Angie, who shares how much her husband loves the Boundary Waters and how memories of their time there as a family brings her comfort.
He loves it. I mean, it's his favorite place to go. He really, truly, I don't even have words to describe how much he loves it up there. So I was allowed to bring a few more comforts than he would have liked. So the packs got a little heavy. But our last trip last summer, he was portaging with the canoe on and a pack on the front and a pack on his back, and just, he had it. He was dialed in. He didn't care. He was so happy. The decision that was made as a family was that we would only go up there as if we were going to bring Dad home. I can't wait to meet all of these people and shake all of their hands. They are amazing. They are one in a million type of group. And I'm just in awe of all of them. Honestly, it's amazing.
A GoFundMe page has been started to help support the families of the missing canoeists. If you wish to donate, there is a link on our website, KTTC.com. Voting for the Iowa primaries is tomorrow, and Iowa Secretary of State Paul Pate shares what Iowans need to be aware of before the elections begin. According to Pate, Iowa voters need to check if their voter registration is current. He says if you haven't moved or haven't registered yet, you can still do so at polling sites with a government-issued ID that includes your address. Pate explains voters need to declare which party they are affiliated with and choose the appropriate ballot as well. He says this is a unique part of primaries. Pate expects the turnout to be lower than that of electing a presidential candidate. However, he feels confident the turnout will be strong. Polling sites are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Iowans need to vote at specific polling sites with respect to their address and precinct. To learn more, visit the links in our web story at KTTC.com. Voters in the Hawkeye State have already made their picks for the presidential primary, with Donald Trump gaining Republican support and Joe Biden winning the Democratic nod. Races on the ballot tomorrow include federal, state, and local offices. There are key races in Iowa's 1st, 3rd, and 4th congressional districts. Several counties will be narrowing down the field of candidates for offices, auditors and sheriffs among them. This year, for the first time since 2018, Libertarians will also be holding primary elections. That's because they got more than 2% of the statewide vote in the last election. That's the minimum requirement to appear as a political party on the ballot. So stay with KTTC tomorrow on air and online as we continue to follow your vote 2024 out of Iowa. One step closer to a new affordable housing center in Rochester. City Council and DMC pledging support for the developer at tonight's meeting. Council members approving a measure to support a developer up to $13 million in tax increment financing, or TIF, to build an affordable housing unit on Mayo Civic Center's north parking lot. DMC was also included in the item, saying it would pledge $3 million in support of the project. The whole project, which was approved, would cost an estimated $129 million. Also tonight, City Council greenlighting the final design of the Silver Lake pool remodel. That includes a new bathhouse for the facility. The opening of that pool is 2026. The Soldiers Field pool is finalizing its remodel to open this summer. A day on the links today to raise money for Ability Building Community, or ABC. The event is called On the Tee with ABC. Here's a look at the dinner and program portion of the annual fundraiser. It was at Somerby Golf Club in Byron. More than 130 golfers teed off today in support of community inclusion opportunities for individuals with disabilities. As the media sponsor, KTTC's Brock Burgee emceed this annual event. He says he had a wonderful time, and thank you for having him tonight for On the Tee with ABC. Well, jury selection is underway in Hunter Biden's federal gun trial. Our White House correspondent has the latest next. Plus, weather front.
Yeah, first alert day in effect for tomorrow, so we're tracking the chance of some showers and thunderstorms. We'll have the first alert on all those storm chances. That's coming up right after this.
Selection has begun in Hunter Biden's criminal trial for illegally purchasing a gun in 2018 while he was a drug user. KTTC's White House correspondent John Decker has the story.
Hunter Biden is charged with 3 felony counts relating to illegal gun possession. As jury selection began in Wilmington, he got support from his stepmother, First Lady Jill Biden, who showed up at the federal courthouse. President Biden, meanwhile, issuing a statement writing, "Jill and I love our son, and we are so proud of the man he is today. Hunter's resilience in the face of adversity and the strength he's brought to his recovery are inspiring to us. A lot of families have loved ones who have overcome addiction and know what we mean." Hunter Biden was indicted by a federal grand jury in September, charged with making false statements on a federal gun form about his drug use. If convicted on all counts, he faces up to 25 years in prison and $750,000 in fines. At the White House, I'm John Decker.
All right, back here on our digital news desk, and a reminder to folks, if you're just joining us, we have technical issues tonight at KTTC preventing us from being in the studio with you, but we hope to be back there tomorrow night. And thanks for being with us. Yes, because it could be a busy one on the weather front.
It could be a busy one coming up tomorrow, as we do have a first alert day in effect for Tuesday. So we're looking at some showers and thunderstorms potentially rolling on through during that evening commute tomorrow. So here's what you need to know for that first alert day for tomorrow. So again, some showers and thunderstorms, some strong to severe storms Tuesday evening. I do think the overall severe threat will be fairly isolated, so maybe a couple cells in this line of thunderstorms will produce some large hail and even the chance for some strong wind, maybe 40 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts associated with this line. So the severe storm outlook from the Storm Prediction Center places most of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa in that orange there. So a level 2 out of 5. And that is for that round that'll move through Tuesday evening. A cold front will slide through out in front of that. I think we have some warm, moist air again, just like we had today. Dew points will warm right back up into the mid-60s tomorrow as that front moves through. So that's kind of your recipe for showers and thunderstorms. Future track right now, future track surface map, what we're waiting for here is that cold front that's out in Montana. That's the next source of energy that'll move through with that rich environment for thunderstorms to develop. Here this evening, we've had some showers and thunderstorms in about Almakeek County. Everything else is pushed well to our east. We're all dry here tonight in northern Iowa and in southern Minnesota. Storm timing for tomorrow, breaking it down geographically here. So we're looking at storms starting to impact I-35 corridor close to, say, 5 to 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So that's Mason City, Northwood, Albert Lee, and then into Steele County for Owatonna. As we look closer to the Highway 52 corridor, I think a lot of these communities start to get impacted by thunderstorms by 7 to 9 o'clock tomorrow night. So that's from Red Wing down to Rochester, Dodge Center, Osage, Charles City, Cresco, Preston, Decorah. Expect some thunderstorm activity from 7 to 9, then eventually the River Valley after about 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So as a whole, thunderstorms impacting about I-35 by 5 to 7. And then moving east fairly quickly. So here's a look at future tracking everything out here for tonight. First alert on some warm temperatures early tomorrow morning. So heading off to work, we're already looking at temps in the upper 60s and low 70s. We fast forward into the afternoon, lunch hour, temperatures into the 80s, maybe even the mid 80s in some spots. By 4 o'clock, that line starting to organize itself out to the west of I-35, making it just moving east of I-35 by 7:30 to 8. and then impacting Highway 52 corridor, like I said, close to maybe 7 to 9 o'clock, and then eventually getting out of the area just before midnight, and then we'll have some quiet conditions settle in for the middle portion of this work week. As we look at rainfall amounts the next 3 days, so really just looking at Tuesday for those rainfall amounts, we could maybe see upwards of about 3/4 of an inch to even an inch in some spots, especially for areas in blue here. And that's just looking at the next 24 hours, because after Tuesday, we have some pretty dry conditions. Wednesday, Thursday, and then all the way into the weekend, we'll continue with that dry weather. Forecast for tonight, overnight lows in the mid-60s. We're at 65, close to around 10 to 11 degrees above average for overnight lows here tonight. So a warm one to start off your Tuesday. Temperatures at 68 as you wake up, and then by the lunch hour, we're at 78. We'll see that threat for some showers and thunderstorms starting to move into the area by 4 to 5 o'clock. Tomorrow's forecast across the region, high temperatures in the low 80s and some upper 70s in a couple spots. And I think everyone will see the threat for some showers and thunderstorms. That's why we have that first alert day in effect for tomorrow. That is the only first alert day in that 10-day forecast. 78 for the high on Wednesday, low 70s Thursday and Friday. Looking towards the weekend, high temperatures fairly nice. 73 on Saturday, 77 on Sunday, and even into next week, we still have some pretty cool conditions. So looking at tomorrow being the warmest day that we'll see in the next 10 days, Caitlin. So this weekend can't get here soon enough as we look at those temps mid to low 70s.
You never can on a Monday, right?
God, never can on a Monday, especially with everything that's going on today. I think we all deserve a nice Saturday and Sunday.
With those exact conditions.
With those conditions, yes.
Thank you, Nick. Well, a new piece of legislation signed into law today, how it can affect gun owners after the break.
KTTC weather brought to you by Corner Home Medical.
The increased penalties on straw purchases is now law, but one aspect of the bill may have some gun owners checking their firearms before the end of the year. Governor Tim Walz signed a piece of gun legislation into law today, one that also bans binary triggers. KTTC's Quinn Gorham reports.
As a law-abiding gun owner, a hunter, wherever it would be, nothing that has been passed impedes your right to own and possess a firearm in any way.
One of the very first statements from Governor Tim Walz Monday as he sat down in the St. Paul Police Department to sign a gun bill into law. Walz joined members of the law enforcement community who showed their support for the new laws.
This legislation that's being passed today, this bill being signed, is truly an important piece to public safety.
The bill in question does two things. First and foremost, it makes it a felony to buy a firearm on behalf of someone else.
This bill increases penalties for straw purchase purposes and makes it easier to prosecute cases where a person has placed a firearm in the hands of a prohibited person.
That aspect of the bill was fairly non-controversial. Republicans backed an increase on straw purchase penalties as early as last year, and there was renewed interest after a shooting in Burnsville took the lives of 3 first responders earlier this year.
We had firefighters that were killed in Burnsville and another one injured last week in Minneapolis. And we need to continue to show our support for our public safety servants.
But another part of the bill bans binary triggers, modifications that allow an increased fire rate on weapons. Republicans called it a poison pill, but law enforcement officers support the addition.
The binary triggers make our communities more dangerous. And, when you can shoot more rounds off when you're pulling that trigger, you're more likely to hurt more people. So anything we can do to minimize that and reduce that.
The straw purchase bill was the only bill out of 3 proposed major pieces of gun legislation to pass this year. Reporting in St. Paul, I'm Quinn Gorham.
The binary trigger ban goes into effect January 1st next year. In a new research study, the Girl Scouts of the USA is finding that most girls between the ages of 5 and 13 experience loneliness. And with age, it's finding this feeling can increase. This new study says 70% of girls between those ages experience loneliness. Chief Engagement Officer for Girl Scout River Valley, Susan Anderson, says one contributor to this feeling is disconnection and isolation. The data shows that with age, loneliness intensifies and leads to a decrease in confidence. Anderson says there's promising news because the study finds that the power of friendship boosts confidence in girls to try something new. Anderson says they're finding out girls actually prefer real-life interactions, like going outdoors or being creative with peers, rather than just scrolling on their phones. Adult volunteers play an important role in the Girl Scout program. And Anderson says they are trained on how to be aware of signs if someone is struggling and how to create safety in the Girl Scout experience. For any young girls wanting to join Girl Scouts, you can do so anytime. There's information on our website, KTTC.com. When we come back, our Nick Speliopoulos will join us for a look at sports, including this week's Athlete of the Week. We'll be right back.
Nick Speliopoulos. Tonight from the Sports Wall, we start with very important news in the NFL. The Minnesota Vikings, their dance is over with Justin Jefferson. He signed a contract extension. Now Jefferson will play his final rookie year contract this season. And he signed a 4-year, $140 million extension, breaking those numbers down. $110 million of that $140 is guaranteed money. This deal makes Justin Jefferson the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, and he's earned it too. In his career, he's caught 392 passes for 5,899 yards and 30 touchdowns, with the highest receiving yards per game average in league history. Breaking down those record numbers for Jefferson, he'll earn $35 million per year, which is the highest annual value for non-quarterbacks in the NFL. 4 other wide receivers are in the top 4. They're in the royal blue colors. 2 defensive linemen, Chris Jones and Nick Bosa, also in the top 5, earning more than $30 million per year. But Jefferson got what he wanted, his record-setting contract. Locally, more turnover with the Lured Eagles Athletics Department. Activities Director Eric Larson stepping down at the end of July. This news coming weeks after Larson left his position as boys basketball head coach. Larson will next assume a position as Associate Activities Director with the Winona-Cotter Ramblers. Looking ahead to tomorrow, a busy day for local postseason tournaments. 2 section baseball championships taking place. Class 2A will play at Mayo Field as the Cannon Falls Bombers look to keep their magic going against the Zumbrota-Mazeppa Cougars. Class 1A will play at Riverland Community College, where the top 2 teams in the section meet, Lyle Pacelli and Southland. Both these games starting at 5 p.m. Tomorrow also marks the start of the boys team tennis state tournament. In Class 2A, the Mayo Spartans start their quest against the 7-seed Eden Prairie. This match is set to start at noon from the Baseline Tennis Center. In Class A, the Cotter Ramblers draw the Rock Ridge Wolverines, this one with a bright and early 10 a.m. start at the Reed Sweat Tennis Center. We end sports tonight with our Athlete of the Week, but this week our honorees are better as a team. A group of friends breaking records on the track, and now these Mayo Spartans have their eyes set on later this week as they look to win big at state. Our Nathan Hawkins has more.
The thing that's unique about the 4x1 is it's not an individual event. You need each and every one of your teammates to be able to pull through and do their job, because one mistake can mess up the entire race.
Since 7th grade, like we've all been, I would say best friends, but we all been like extremely good friends since around 7th grade.
We're always like telling each other what we could work on, what we can do better. Like if one of us gets off slow, we'll literally just tell each other, we'll be like, you're not getting off like fast, like you gotta get moving, you know?
The race went off. Handoff 1, handoff 2, handoff 3. It was like, oh my gosh, we have a shot. And then finally at the lean, I'm sitting next to Coach Holcomb and his son and his wife, and we're like, oh, it's 41s. It's got to be 41s. And you take a look, it's 41.73, and it's like, oh my gosh, they did it.
I know I said surreal already, but it just feels so surreal. I got the baton from Sebastian. I couldn't hear anybody behind me, so I was running as fast as I possibly could. And the second Joseph crossed the line, I saw 41.73, and it was like one of the best feelings, I guess, of the day.
We were pretty confident. We knew that we had one of the best times going into there, and that we definitely knew that we could get faster than what we have, break 42, which we did.
Our goal together is to win state. I mean, that's like cool and all, breaking all these records, but we're focused on one thing together.
I don't have to do much to keep them grounded. They're a confident group, but they also realize, you know, just keep working hard and doing what we ask, and we have a shot.
None of us are nervous because we know what we can do, but we come in there with confidence and we expect the best out of ourselves and like each other.
And these guys are awesome, bro. They're super fun guys. They don't care too much about other people and stuff. They just like to be happy, like to enjoy the time, cherish the moments that we have together, because this is my last year. They'll three be coming back next year, but to be able to go out last year with some guys that enjoy what they're doing and having fun, it's a blessing, man. We'll see y'all in state. See y'all in state.
KTTC.
Simone Biles now holds yet another national title. Biles picked up her record 9th all-around title last night at the 2024 U.S. Gymnastics Championships in Fort Worth. That was after she recorded the highest score on all 4 events over 2 nights of competition. After her win, the 27-year-old told NBC she feels great with how she's competing right now. She'll next target the U.S. Olympic trials at the end of this month. That's ahead of the Summer Olympic Games in Paris, which of course you can watch right here on KTTC. We're very excited for those. But first, we got to get through that first alert day tomorrow, Nick.
That is right. The first alert day in effect for tomorrow. So you'll see that highlighted there on red on your 10-day forecast. So showers and thunderstorms possible throughout the evening hours tomorrow night, stretching anywhere from 5 p.m. until close to 9 to 10 o'clock tomorrow night. After we get through the first alert day, again, main threats tomorrow, hail and wind. Rest of the week, smooth sailing. We'll have high temperatures in the upper 70s on Wednesday, a little breezy, and then beautiful conditions on the way Thursday, extending all the way through early portion of next week.
Yes, thank you all for bearing with us tonight here on our digital desk. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow night, hopefully back in our studio wherever you belong. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.